Hey gang, Editor Joker here. I've uploaded this 4 times to YouTube and it keeps whacking me and making it only 18 and sign in and all that stuff, which means nobody will get to see it. So eventually, I'm sure this will get uploaded and everything works, but you're going to be missing a lot of context. Originally, this was about a 22, 23-minute video, and it's having to be chopped way down. So if you want to see the full content, make sure to go over to betterbachelor.locals.com, become a supporter today, or go over to rumble.com. Odd Man Out is my channel over there, and you can see the whole entire thing uncensored. YouTube is all about big mommy speech. You can't hear big adult stories because they might make you think, and you might make fun of people. So get off YouTube. That's all I can say. All right, now back to my normal content. Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. I don't even know how to start this because this is such a strange, stupid story, and it just goes to show you what deep, weird times we're living in. Because if life imitates art, that art is dystopian and dark and overly spicy, in my opinion. A nurse caught by husband while hooking up with her stepson. The young guy that probably did this has watched way too much internet movies, if you know what I'm talking about, and gotten way over his head because this was kind of his mom in some ways. But it's more on the nurse because, of course, she's a nurse because nurses are over the top. They just really are. I mean, in surveys that have been done, nurses are the one profession that are most likely to cheat. A quick message from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is the awesome guys over at Black Forest Supplements with the brand new Cocoa Flavanols. What are flavanols, you might be saying? Well, they're a new compound used for their health benefits. They reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. They improve heart health. They boost nitric oxide production and brain focus. As a guy, especially, we need to be mentally aware. You need to be healthy. You need to take care of yourself because no one else is going to do it, especially not the DEI doctors they're now putting through medical school because of their, their physical traits. But rather than me trying to explain it, I'm going to let world-renowned Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee explain it in this discussion he has with Dr. Mark Heyman.
Clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually just have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. Yeah. And they doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream and their circulation improved measurably. There was a study called the Cosmos study that was completed recently that showed that eating high flavanol cocoa decreases the risk of cardiovascular death right over a period
like
of
a statin.
Like a statin. Exactly. Except maybe by eating the same thing that you use to make chocolate. So we're not telling people to go out to have chocolate, which is a confection. It's got a lot of sugar and all kinds of other stuff in it. Yeah. But it's the stuff underlying the core of it.
So the challenge is going to be, how do you get 2 cups worth of hot cocoa, dark chocolate cocoa without all the other sugar and added crap in it? And who wants to have 2 cups of it a day? So what they did is they took the flavanols, which are the healthy stuff in cocoa beans, and it's lost during traditional chocolate processing, and regular chocolate, of course, has all the crap in it. So Black Forest came out with basically cocoa flavanols. And what they've done is they've taken the flavanols out of it and put it in a supplement. And that way you guys get to boost your natural stem cell production, your nitric oxide, boost the brain, reduces inflammation, increases your lifespan, and you just have to drink a little bit of flavonoid powder. Anyway, so go to the Black Forest Supplements, high flavanol cocoa, Black Forest special discount, relaunch deal, 40% off for the next 48 hours. Go to my link in the description or pin comment down below for the next 48 hours, and you can get 40% off. Stock up while you can. Again, Black Forest High Flavanol Cocoa, 40% off 48 hours. BlackForestSupplements.com/bachelor. Get yours. I got mine. Drinking it, enjoying it. Go check it out today. From Florida, of course. Florida, I love Florida. Florida is my favorite state, but in many ways, it is the armpit of the country when it comes to weird people. It's got beautiful beaches and lots of old people and lots of really cool, friendly people, surprisingly a large number of rednecks, but also some of the weirdest people in the country. Florida nurse's revolting excuse to husband after she was caught hooking up with her stepson. So I guess this guy had a kid with another woman. So that's mom, dad, child. Then she leaves the picture, the original mom. New mom comes in, and she's basically like, wow, you look like a young version of my husband. I must have you. Yeah, that's where we are today. That's where we are today. A Florida nurse accused of hooking up with her stepson gave a revolting excuse to her husband after he walked in on them, according to court documents. That in and of itself, can you imagine walking in and watching your son plowing what is yours, that there's so many, this is just nightmare fuel. There's so much wrong with this. Alexis Von Yates, 35, attempted to apologize to her enraged husband when she was caught red-handed and completely sans clothing underneath a blanket last July during a visit to his father in Ocala, Florida. Von Yates, who had her single-state nursing license revoked last week as she awaits trial, claimed that he looked like a younger version of his father. Okay, so the young man heard the telling his father she was sorry, saying the son looked like his father when he was younger. During the late-night confrontation, Von Yates alleged she told the teen to stop, but the pair continued their romp, a claim the boy disputed during his interview with the cops. We talk a lot about women and their accountability. So you're going to tell me that you had no clothing on the couch underneath a blanket with this young dude that's about to have his way with a woman. Telling him to stop is like Spider-Man trying to stop the runaway train. I think it was in Spider-Man 2. You're shooting your webs everywhere and you're straining and holding yourself back, trying to stop a 200-ton train from going off the tracks. That's what it's like telling a that's this far away from the happy place, stop. That's number one. Number two, she couldn't take accountability. Of course she couldn't take accountability. How did you end up in this position? How did you end up under the blankets with him without clothing? All the things. And what did she do? She blames the kid, because women in accountability are like oil and water. The kid told his father this was untrue, saying she was... I am going to put this on YouTube, but I guess I'll just read it as is, and you guys can suffer the consequences of not knowing what I'm saying. The young man told his father this was untrue, saying she was mourning him and told him to keep going, the document read. Von Yates had finished putting her bed. She was a single mother as well. Oh, Lord. No wonder we have so many issues. When she returned to watch a horror movie, The Terrifier, with her stepson. Great movie, if you like that kind of thing. The teen's father, a lineman, was still at work when the two began talking before Von Yates brought up how she was. There's so many movies online. You know what kind of movies I'm talking about that have this as an exact kind of situation. Help me, stepson. I've fallen and I can't get up. I'm stuck in the dryer. Well, anyway. Von Yates' arousal stemmed from not having sex in 2 weeks, and she was on her period. Oh, yes. 2 weeks. I couldn't help it. I had to, because it's not my fault. She couldn't wait for her husband to come home, and obviously that was going to happen very soon since he walked in on them. So instead of waiting, 15 minutes, 30 minutes for the husband to come home, I couldn't help myself because hormones or whatever. Physical contact began with just cuddling and making out. Okay, right there is where you could have said stop. Right there is you could have said, I've made a grave error in my life. But no, she said. No, that couldn't be it. And then the pair engaged in intercourse without a condom, according to the affidavit. Look, you do not want to go down. Why this young man decided to go downtown to Australia while she was on her monthly. That boy, talking about a Terrifier. It was obviously, if she's watching the movie Terrifier, she's definitely into the gross. He must have looked like a clown show when he came up from going down on Australia on her. The father entered the home to find his son running into the bathroom with his pants around his ankles and his wife without clothing under the blanket. Following a heated confrontation between the married couple, the was rushed to his grandparents' house where he spent the night. As he packed his things, he heard his father yelling at Von Yates, the woman, calling her a and a child, according to police. He also overheard the suspect telling the father that she was sorry, saying he looked a lot like you when you were younger. Oh, well, that's not his fault then. I mean, who couldn't? Just reverse the roles in this stuff, right? Honey, I had to sleep with our stepdaughter. I had to. She looked like you when you were young. I couldn't help it. It was not my fault. Oh my gosh, the ramifications. The next day, the called a stepmom. Von Yates allegedly said she wished they weren't caught so they could have been into the morning.
No.
Oh, Lord. She again made an off-the-cuff comment comparing the to looks to his dad's. This story goes to TMI. Way to go, New York Post. At least you laid it out there. Sorry for you on YouTube. She commented on not realizing how big it looked, saying it looked like with younger skin. Your member looks just like your dad's, except younger, without as much skin. Jesus Christ. What am I doing with my life, and why am I reading stories like this on the internet? I've really taken a turn for the worse. I mean, this is it's kind of a serious topic, yes. I mean, but, oh gosh, I don't know. Von Yates then commented on the ability, giving him a 7 out of 10 before saying he had been around the block. The Von Yates and the not seen each other since their encounter, the affidavit stated. The texted and messaged his stepmother on Facebook, but hadn't gotten a reply. Well, what did he message her? Like, a lot of times, you know, people my age say, hey, you know something, like, this is a young guy. He's still developing. He shouldn't be kind of having this stuff go on in his life. But I tell you, I lost my V card at how old was I? I was 15. I was 15 and she was a lifeguard at a camp. And so she was 18, I was 15. I lost it. Let me tell you something. I was not crying about the situation. Many a fond memory were held for a very long time by a young joker over that situation. Now, yes, this is very weird in the fact that she's not bad looking for 35, especially to a young that probably would struggle to get a date. And she's basically throwing at you. I mean, so him texting her, maybe he wanted to apologize. Maybe he wanted to ask questions. Maybe he wanted to redo. I don't know. You want to know the weird feet and ankle guys on the internet? Something weird happened to them when they were young like this, and then they got weird. I'm just saying. Now he's going to have a thing for nurses and stepmoms for the rest of his life. In the fallout, Von Yates blamed calling him a master manipulator. Ah, yes, the 15-year-old master manipulator. She couldn't help it. He was so suave and such a player at the tender age of that I couldn't control myself, and he talked me right into it. Again, accountability and women like oil and water. The young man is partially to blame for sure. He could have easily said, ew, that's gross, and then told his dad. But again, to my Spider-Man analogy, holding back a 200-ton train, do you know how hard that would be when you're that age and testosterone's raging through your body and there is a somewhat attractive woman laying with no clothes under the bed? I mean, of course you're going to... I was that age once. I get it. And they had another photo here. This is the story about her losing her license. But okay, I get it. I know a lot of you are like, ew, no. Okay, whatever. If you're and this is waiting for you under the blankets with nothing on, how do you not? I genuinely mean that. How do you not? They had another photo. Yeah, like, you're probably, I mean, she's got a couple of nice assets. She's the girl next door look. This goes into it even more. I don't even think I'm going to read. We don't need to get into this anymore. We know what's going on. Father failed to define his relationship with his wife, describing it as complicated. Yeah, it's complicated, all right. I wonder do they have any comments on this? Please have comments. No comments on this. Of course they don't have comments on this. Oh, there's so many things we can say about how society has fallen. When I was younger, things were kind of chaotic and strange. And back in the the early 1990s and 1980s is when I was around his age. And yeah, times were different, but they were simpler. Yes, I lost my V card to a 18-year-old chick at a camp who was a lifeguard, and I was just going there as a camp attendee. Yes, it was weird. No, it was not normal. No, it didn't make the news. No, it wasn't. Had it had it been discovered, it probably would have been quietly been swept under the rug, or it would have kind of been blown off, or it wouldn't have been a thing. But today, not only do we have so many people acting out and going so crazy over so many things, but we've got a problem that the news cycle becomes more and more salacious. In many ways, just the other day, I did a video and it hit 300,000 views, which I haven't hit in a very, very long time. And I think it's because, the story and the headline and the article were very like, what the hell happened? Let me click on this and check it out. And I've always tried to actually stay away from clickbait headlines because I don't like them. I've always been a guy that's like, just tell me what it is. And if people watch it, great. If they don't, great, whatever. But when you see so many more views versus a 50 or 60,000 view, when you get 300,000 views, it's very tempting to make everything clickbaity, everything over the top. And that's what the news has become. The New York Post is a very, very old newspaper. And yes, they have regular news as well. But this is the stuff I found this post because it was promoted on Twitter. This is the stuff they're promoting. They're not talking about politics. They're not promoting the political stuff or other events in the world. They're promoting the crazy because they want clicks, and clicks are views, and views is money for at least newspapers like this. Not so much when your content's mostly demonetized. We're just in a very, very bad place. And I can see why the collapse of society and the fall of everything, as each generation comes out afterwards, this is what they're used to. And it's not over the top, surprising, or crazy. It's just, well, this is the news and this is the world we live in. And maybe that's where young people have it good because they're just like, well, this is normal. I mean, but I don't see what you're freaking out about, old man. This is just the world we live in. And maybe this is also why the younger generation is actually starting to become a little bit more conservative, not necessarily in voting, but in the way they view the world. Young people don't want the hookup scene anymore. They're getting off Twitter. They want to date normally again. They want long-term relationships. They want to meet people out and about on regular dates. Maybe there is some hope because of things like this. I don't know. There's no way I'm going to blame him because I know what it's like to have this literally laying, not dressed underneath a blanket saying, let's do this. But in today's day and age, when you grow up and half the content out on the internet that you want to go watch that's a little spicy and exciting, when half that content is labeled stepbrother, stepsister, stepmom, step whatever, yeah, I can see why this is happening. If anything, I kind of blame the dad for, number one, hooking up with a mother of two. I blame the dad for not teaching his son better, I guess. I mean, his son has to know better than to do something like this. But of course, as always, 99.9% of the blame goes on her, and she will have none of it. She will not take any accountability for anything. Blaming the father, blaming society, blaming a work schedule, blaming her son or the kid, whatever. It's always somebody else's fault. Guys, if you like my work, make sure to jump over to betterbachelor.locals.com. Tonight, we will be doing Saturday Night at the Movies. We're going to roast Captain America, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Man, Iron, whatever, the Captain America Brave New World, and we're going to watch Fury, and then we'll probably watch a third movie because we almost usually do. But we do this every Saturday night. You too can become a supporter today by going to betterbachelor.locals.com. Come on over, check it out. We got a great community of like-minded guys. We hang out, we have fun, talk about all the things of the world, roast some movies. It's a good time. So if you don't have anything going on the weekends and you want some like-minded people to hang out, come on over, become a supporter today. I think you'll like it. I know we do. And we'll see you in the next one.